You look at this video, you're going to say, I know those drills. And I'm sure you do. In fact, you probably know more drills than I do. But look very closely, listen, of how we try to make our drill come as close to match play, how we try to make the drill break down the techniques, how we try to make the video and the drills clearly show what happens to students in different sets of circumstances. That's the objective of our video. We can measure levels of play. We also can measure the attitude. And also, please look when the drill breaks down, how we get it together. Oh yes, you'll see me blow my top a few times, but you'll also see me compliment them. I sincerely hope that you look at this video as a teaching tool, just not another video that shows drills.
It is recommended that you complete a 10-minute exercise routine before every on-court training session. Jumping rope or jogging, followed by stretching, will help increase your flexibility and reduce the risk of injury.
Now, before we get started, all you boys have done your warm-ups before you've come on the court. You've done your stretching, done your skipping rope, you've done all the necessities that you have to do to prevent an injury and start getting your minds focused to start to go to work. Now you're on the tennis court. We didn't come out to practice. We've come out to focus and to start maintaining a concentration point, the same as when you play. What you want to do when we do this warm-up drill is you want to think about early preparation. You want to work on that technique. You want to make sure we have a good base. Give us that strong foundation that the techniques don't go up and down. Now remember, even though this is a warm-up drill, we're here to play tennis. We want to get right down to business with the very first ball. If we start doing this with these type of drills, as soon as you go out to play, you won't lose the first game or two. You know why? Because you know exactly what to do. Take advantage of that first ball and get right down to business. All right, guys? All right, let's get started. To warm up, we'll just do a simple forehand and a backhand. To the back of the line, the next person get right up to that baseline. The on-deckers are always moving their feet. All right, here we go. Everybody's moving. There's our forehand down the line. There's our backhand down the line. Now, notice, coaches, what I'm doing right here. I've put a couple of targets on the court so that students just don't hit the ball for hitting the ball. In order to hit the ball to the target area, they've got to get good height and depth. And as you're doing this, you have to keep on talking, giving little comments. And also, coaches, notice how I'm picking out the balls out of the box. I don't take my eye off the student for 1 second. And that's very, very important. We want to maintain height and depth. Also, we want to go for a spot on the tennis court. Just don't hit the ball to hit the ball, please. Excellent. Give yourself a little safety margin to make that error. Feet are moving. Perfect. All right, come inside the court a little bit more. Shorten up that backswing. Feet are moving back there, please. Excellent. 3 to 4 feet above the net. Hear my voice as I begin to talk. All right, now, boys, I want you to hit the ball that way. Notice my monotone is the same way. That's good. Prepare. Very good. Now watch me now. All right, guys, let's get with it. Feet are moving. No misses. And you're under match conditions. Are we ready, guys? Here we go. All right, early preparation. Good. Low to high. Get underneath that. Prepare for that difficult ball. That's it. Prepare as you run for that ball. Excellent. Turn. Over. Good. Let's stop moving. Good. Come on. Come after that ball. Excellent. Come on. Get inside this court. Good. Come after the ball like you want to hit it. That's more like it. Come on. Challenge the ball. Catch it when it's going up, and that's important. All right. Take a second. The Fed ball drills can accomplish a lot of goals. Number one, you can control the situation no matter what level of play is in that line. Number 2, you can work on movement. You can see a lot about their preparation, the use of the legs and technique. And 3, you can bring out the targets. See if students can zone in not only hitting the ball, but hitting the ball to a certain area. And 4, you can work on the cardiovascular. Work on 20 balls, 30 balls, and do all sorts of drills to see how they react when they get a little tired. And most often when they get a little tired, the techniques fail. Why? Because the foundation and movement. So fed ball drills can be very exciting in all sorts of variations. We're going to do the windshield wiper drill. It's 2 lines. We can have 3 in a line, we can have 4 in a line. This is a very fast-moving drill. But the objective of this drill is that everyone is part of the drill. Even if you're not hitting, you're shadow drilling. And that's very important. Here's how the drill begins. 1 line's on the center, 1 line's out there by the singles. As this line goes over to the right and you hit a forehand, everyone moves. But also the opposite line moves and comes over to the center mark and you do a forehand shadow drill. That student then goes to the back of the line. As the second line came over and did their shadow drill, you go back then and hit a backhand, and then you go to the back of the line. The drill continues at all time. The on-deckers must make sure that when they come up into the hitting part of the drill, they come up to the baseline or wherever the drill begins. Remember, it's the same as a windshield wiper. Windshield wiper goes this way, everybody goes this way. The windshield goes back, wiper goes over to this way, and everybody goes that way. We're all intact. Watch your safety procedures. Let's get started. Ready? Here we go. And turn. Perfect. Back. Excellent. Underneath. Good footwork. Turn. Perfect. Use those legs. Early preparation. Good. Keep working yourself inside, please. Pick up the ball for the safety. The coaches right now should be thinking of a few simple things, which are early preparation, low to high, and maintaining their focus. As the student starts working their way into the net a little bit more, it's very simple. A little shorter backswing. The same as if you were actually playing tennis. That's the great thing about these drills. Perfect. Come on inside. Good. Remember the shadow. Keep moving in. All right, stay right on the service line now. Good. Turn. Good. Stay on the service line. Perfect. Shorter backswing. Excellent. Use those legs. Keep working in. Now let's get into the volleys, please. Good. And turn. Perfect. And the great thing about these drills, you can go from ground strokes right into the volleys. Perfect. We're going to speed it up a little bit. Good. Here we go. Excellent. Early preparation. Perfect. Turn. Up. Perfect. Turn. Good boy. Back. All right. Well done. All of you boys know the techniques. You're moving well. You're playing your matches quite well. You're ready to go to the next step. We're going to go to the next step by taking advantage of what we call a weapon. We're going to start out with the forehand weapon. Do you boys feel you're capable of taking yourself to another degree? Yeah. Huh? Well, let's try it. Remember now, 1 ball. You're going to make up your mind that you want to cheat around your backhand and hit a big forehand. You got to have all those points in your mind. You can't say, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Make up your mind you're going to cheat. And you're going to hit that big forehand, okay? All right, let's try it. All right, 1 ball each, boys. Movement is essential in this drill. Move quickly. Perfect. Come around it. Always challenge the ball, boys. Always challenge. Move. Excellent. Catch that ball up high by your shoulders. All right, right now what I'm trying to do is to get these students not only to challenge the inside-out forehand and the big killer weapon forehand, but also to understand the weak ball that comes back, they cannot make an error. They've worked so hard to get this they've got to maintain their focus that they have to capitalize on the big weapon. Move. Very nice. Come forward. Come after that ball. Good boy. Come on. Come up after that ball. Well done. Move quickly. Good. Early preparation. So we're trying to accomplish a couple of easy things out here. One, to have the mental attitude that they will develop a weapon. If they develop the weapon, they have to capitalize on it. And what we try to do is to give them a safety margin that they don't have to go for a winner on a put-away shot, but to place it, cause an error, or move in and hit a simple volley. That is well done. Now what we're going to do as part of that drill, we're going to give you the first ball where you run around and cheat, but I'm going to give you a short ball that hopefully comes from the big weapon. So you're going to hit 2 balls. First one, you're going to run around and cheat, hit the big forehand, then I'm going to give you a weak return and come after the ball. All right, here we go. Good. Move quickly. Excellent. There's that little short ball. Well done. Up. Now run around for the big forehand. Again, turn. Good. Up. Excellent. Turn. Move those feet. Well done. Notice how we've progressed this morning. We've gone from our warm-up drills, we've gone to a windshield wiper drill, and a windshield wiper drill had a lot of options. Coming in, hitting the ball on the rise, and coming in and working on your volleys. And then we just went through the drill of developing the big weapon. Now a weapon quite often will bring a shallow ground stroke or possibly a ball that you're going to volley. So what I want you boys to think about is the different options that you're going to have. And we're going to practice those different options so that when you get these in actual match play, it'll be the same as doing them in practice. Remember, you practice for a purpose. You practice to put that mentality into actual play. And that's why I ask all of you boys to be very serious when you practice. Because the more serious you are and the more you focus and take advantage of all these little things that happen in drills, someday they'll pay off in a big match. Do you understand that? Okay? All right, let's go back. So remember, coaches, you got to be very positive and give some good points of saying thank you, well done. That's what makes the drill really flow. You got to knock them down, but you got to give them some compliments as well. Good. And you got to watch the drill very, very closely as they begin to get a little tired. Then you try to push them a little bit more as if they're playing a long match, or you slow it down so they don't start getting careless. But you want to be able to accomplish several things when you're doing these drills. Push them to another level and see if the technique breaks down, and then you start talking to them about the mentality. This is a long point. Your opponent just as tired as you are, and it's how bad you want to win this point. You know, when you have big, powerful ground strokes, the opponent has a tendency to move back because you're hitting him deep, you're putting them above their shoulders, and so they're going to move back and say, geez, I've just got to get this ball back and play. And that's fantastic. If you can get the opponent to move back, that gives you a lot more options, including the angle shots or the drop shots. Okay? So right now, we're going to have you hit a deep ball. The second ball will be an angle shot. So you'll hit, say, a heavy topspin forehand or a heavy topspin backhand, or just hit a ball with good height and depth, and then you're going to hit your angles. Turn. Perfect. Use that racket head. Good boy. Back. Perfect. Get below that ball. Excellent racket speed that time. Good boy. Get underneath it. Excellent. And turn. Perfect. Get under the ball. Good boy. Back. You've got to work this racket head down. Work it quickly. That's not enough spin on that ball at all. What you want to do is to remember it's racket head speed, hitting below the ball and brushing it from a low to a high point. You can't get spin on the ball if you start hitting with your whole arm, okay? Good. Perfect. Get underneath it. Well done. Good boy, beautiful. All right, now let's hit angles from both sides, 2 shots. Angle forehand, come on, and an angle backhand. Good boy. Work that racket head a lot quicker. You stopped that time and you babied it. In order to make a ball dip, you've got to hit it. Good boy. And turn. Perfect. Round it, up, well done. Come on in a little tiny bit. Good boy. Work it, perfect. Get underneath it. Well done. You can't baby this shot. And remember, it's a quick action shot where the racket head really speeds up. Keep coming in, please. When you students work this, it's good to work angle to angles. And when you have your little warm-up drills, this is what's important, to put a little racket speed on the ball. So if you ever go out with your friends to practice, play the little mini game. And the mini game will force you to hit a little bit more spin, because to keep the balls inside the service boxes without spin is very difficult. Notice how the students now are beginning to shorten up on their backswing just a little tiny bit when they're inside the court. You have to use your legs also, everybody. You got to get underneath the ball. See, he guided that ball just a bit. You can't guide it. Good. Coaches, sometimes I give the expression of hitting on the outside of the ball. And that gives them a little bit more of an idea of brushing from the in to the outside. Good. Get on the outside and brush up. Perfect. Work that racket head a little bit more. Excellent. Under it, and there's the little brushing effect. I could actually close my eyes and just hear what happens to the ball. That ball was too flat. See, that's a little better. You can hear the spin. And that's what's important, to hear that little brushing effect, hitting from a low to a high point. Well done. And coaches and boys and girls participating in these drills, you know, there's all sorts of element of surprises that come in. For instance, the coach can say, okay, right now we're going for 10 balls, hit to a certain area without a miss. Right then and there, the whole situation changes. All right now, from the first ball, you're going to hit the target A to target B, back to target A, and close it out with a big killer forehand to target B. Put in variations and see how they react. Because what happens in an actual play is you have variations, how to control the center of the court. So make sure those fed ball drills come as close to those situations as possible. If you can create that atmosphere, as if the bell begins from the first ball, it'll help them when they have crucial times like this in an actual match. All right, we're gonna have a little element of competition. The drills are fantastic, but what we want to do is relate some drills to actual play. And hitting a ball without a purpose is meaningless. So we put up 2 targets, one on the right side and one on the left side. We're going to start out with cross courts first. In the box, you get a +1. Whoever gets the +5 wins. If you get to -3, you drop out. Okay, feet are moving. Here we go. The coach has got to use his imagination. As soon as the drill begins to break down a little bit and the kids have done fairly well, pow! Put another situation into it. Put another variation into it. Make the situations different all the time. That's what keeps the mind keen. We're working with Martina Hinkes for the last 2 weeks here. Martina does something good for 5 or 6 minutes, and then it's time to change. And that keeps her enthusiastic. Let's get that height and depth. Use your legs. Let's say that we want to play a tournament. Let's say that we want to take an exam in school. Okay? Anything. Girls, when the bell rings, you have to be ready mentally to start playing at that second. I mean, life will go by you in a split second. So the object of drills is just not to hit balls, but to prepare you to get started the very instant the first ball is in play. Do we understand that? Now, come on. All right, let's go on back. Now we're going to go down the line. Here we go. Good. Down the lines. Come on. Height and depth into those targets. Good. Lift those balls. Perfect. Come after those balls. Excellent. Prepare early. The benefit of this drill is to get height and depth on the ball. Position, yes, but height and depth first. Into position so that the body is in perfect balance to get the ball to the place that you want to get it to. All right, we have +1. Free ball, +2. +3. +4. +5. +6. Look at the concentration of these boys and the early preparation. +7. If you were out rallying and not have the boxes in place, why it's so different when we put the boxes in place? I mean, can you tell me, does it make you concentrate a little bit more to see the target?
Yeah, you aim it.
You aim it. So what about you?
It puts me under pressure.
Push you a little bit under pressure? Well, you know, what I kind of like to do is to see if we can't have the same type of pressure on us when we don't have the boxes. Because the name of this game is height and depth, making position, and early preparation. And once you can start doing this in practice, and you start playing a match, the key to a match is to control the center of the court. And if you can control the center of the court and going to this box and over to the other box, and then coming in on short balls, that's how you begin building the point. So early preparation is important, movement, and total concentration in getting the ball to a location. Now we're going to have these boys do the same drill, put a little bit more element of difficulty into it, that they can't back up, have to hit everything on the rise. Now they're going to have to use their legs a little bit more. 1, 2. You're -1. Move much better. And look how quick they have to set up. Also, at this point, perhaps even consolidate their backswing. Say, he got caught. A perfect example of what happens when you get caught inside that baseline. He should have either come forward or should he came in and volleyed the ball. So by putting your students in different conditions, you'd be surprised what you can accomplish by a simple game drill. All right, next. Good boy. Now let's go back to being steady again. No mistakes. Height and depth. Now you got to get tough with them a little bit and get their minds to start working again. Prepare as you run. Good boy. That's it. Use those legs. You have to be pushed and you have to dig deep. But when you're pushed and you have to dig deep, keep calm. Go to simple fundamentals. Simple fundamentals is footwork, balance, early preparation. All right, well done, partner. Live ball drills, live ball competition. People who practice well when the ball is fed to them, beep, the whistle blows. One student against another student. Uh-oh, you see some breakdowns. The mental part comes into the picture. A little bit more pressure, the element of competition, and that's exactly what coaches want to find out. What do we need to work with students? Live ball, fed ball, actual sets. It's all part of the game plan, and you must find the right formula for your students. Here's how the drill works. Liberty, you're on the other side. Jemiah, you're over here.
Okay.
Baseline to baseline. Everything you do, whether it's a forehand or a backhand, you have to hit the ball in between the lines. And this requires total concentration too. The box game, you notice the box is a little bigger. Now they have to move to do this, and they have to keep it into a 3.5-foot area. Not that easy. Now look at that, how they're starting to hit that ball pretty darn good. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's play a 5-point game. You have -1. You have -2. -2, 2. 1, 2. 1, 3. 2, 3. Look at them cook now. Very nice. Come on, girls. Excellent. Well done. I like it. Look at it. As soon as you start putting that competition in there. Come on. Play it out. Excellent. Prepare. I tell you what, this is not that easy. You know, the volley has become a big part of the game. And if you hit the ball up on the rise, hit killer forehands, and you control the first ball, you're going to get a lot of defensive balls to hit and come to the net, or you're going to get a lot of floating returns that you can pick right out of the air and come in volley. But once you come into volley, it's essential that you maintain control of the volley. Certainly you want to hit that big screaming volley and for the people to say, holy mackerel, did you see that? But I also see the balls that you miss. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a disciplined control volley. We're going to go back and forth, back and forth. We're going to take 2 at a time. We're going to do 20 balls. And all we're going to do is make each other look like they can volley. So you're going to make them look good. Hit the ball right back to them. Once you do that, we can take you to the next level. But you first have to keep the ball in play. And a lot of you boys, and I'm sure a lot of the girls we work with, thinks it's easy to be a coach and volley. It's not that easy. To be a coach and be able to do the drills or even give lessons, you have to volley that ball on a dime. I can remember Brian Gottfried at 11 and 12 years old. He did all my lessons during the summertime. Stood up there and took every lesson 8 and 10 hours a day. He became the best volleyer in the world. But he had to make the student look good. And then he had to take him to another level by moving him a couple of feet. And then he had to move him even a couple more feet. And you can only do that if you can control the volley. You understand? First exercise is very simple. A to B to C to D. Come on. Here we go. Good. All right. Now just change it. Just change that drill. Good boy. You change it yourself. Here we go. Perfect. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Nice and controlled. Very little body motions. Perfect. Now we can get in a little closer to the same drill. Keep it going. Get in a little closer. There we go. Perfect. Up. Good. All right, back up a little bit now. Good. All the way back. Service line to service line. Now you volley with good depth. Good. All right. That's it. Come on. Good boy. Work on those techniques now. A little shorter backswing, please. A little shorter backswing. Too many misses, guys. Come on. Excellent. Come on, go for the ball. Volley out deep, guys. Volley out deep. Boys, that stinks. Pick up the balls. That's terrible. Now, come on, put those balls in this basket. All of you, pay attention. You're not focusing, okay? This is a match. We don't get out there, we don't dolly. You boys get down there. Let's get down to business with these volleys. You understand now? This is business, business, okay? Now, come on, let's get over there. You can do much better than that. Good. Perfect. Come on. Now we're cooking. You've got to want to volley. You've got to want to volley. Good. Clear that ball for safety. Perfect. Come on. There you go. And again, come on. Let's go. You've got to do better than this. Good. Don't collapse that wrist on that backhand volley, Dylan. Good techniques. Come on. And make it bite right through that ball. Perfect. Keep your head still, please. Good boy. Come on. Now we're cooking. Now we're starting to go to the dance. Excellent. Now we're going. Now we're going. Perfect. Yes, sir. I like it. All right, boys. That's more like it. Now, see, boys, you fell asleep on that other one. And this is what happens in a match. You fall asleep, you drop a game. You drop 2 games, guys. You have to maintain that focus at all times. And what you want to do is to maintain that focus to such a point that the opponent breaks down. You understand me? All right, well done. You know, we've talked about fed drills, we've talked about competition drills. Now I'd like to talk about a competition workout. 2 or 3 students that go out there to accomplish certain things. Number 1, being able to keep balls in play for 2 or 3 minutes, requiring the same rally speed. Then we work on movement. We work a 2-on-1. Cross court, the other student hits down the line. You see how the element of movement starts to come into it. And then also, you have the 3 students sort of working against each other. Who competes the best? Who misses the first ball? So it's an entirely different workout. You're really getting much closer to a disciplined workout rather than just a drill, because they must do a certain thing, but it's also live ball at the same time. And that's part of the picture. So, I mean, there's all sorts of things that you must do to prepare that student for actual play. We're going to work on discipline, we're going to work on movement, we're going to work on consistency, we're going to work on depth. We're going to see where techniques fall down, we're going to push it with some speed drills, and then we'll make little corrections as we go along. He'll hit to you 2 guys, and he's got to hit all 4 hands. Notice now to hit all 4 hands, he's already made up in his mind that he's going to have to move to make this. We're not hitting any winners. Early preparation. He has excellent footwork. Let's stop a second. We're going to go for 24 hands, 50% less power. Let's start it again. We're not going for winners. That's 1. That's 2. Notice how Lee slips right over in order to hit his forehand, similar to what Courier did. Now they're both at a rally speed that they can control. In these drills, all the players must hit fairly close to the same pace to be effective. At that time, he couldn't hit the forehand, so he hit a backhand, which is okay. Excellent discipline. Look how he moves back for a deep ball, but moves back into the pocket after he hits it. He has enough spin on the ball for control. Well done. This is exactly the attitude they have when they start building points in actual play. Blast a person off the court, no rhythm. Hit 170 miles an hour, come back down to 50. What I'm trying to do with these students is to show them that a steady game, being offensive, is the way to start out, not going for complete winners or going for the lines. This is not an easy game. If they can do it here, they can do it when they start playing. Let's now go to all backhands. We don't want one stroke to get ahead of the other stroke in practice. Certainly we're trying to build killer forehands, but you also have to hit at least a neutral backhand. Excellent preparation. Uses his legs extremely well. Hits from a low to high with enough spin for control. Notice the boys hitting in the same volume of pace. This is what makes the drill effective. Maintain your focus at all times. That's all we have to do. No errors from that far back. Hit a little bit more to the middle of the court when you're too far back. All right, he's going to hit cross courts. You boys hit down the line. Same pace. Now we're working a little bit on movement. We're taking both the forehands and backhands. Excellent preparations. Uses his legs well. Use a little bit of a push that time. It's a little windy, so have a little spin. Well done. All right, Lee's going down the line. Just change the drill. Well done. So you give the boys all different types of options. Notice the feet, they never stop. He's always making position. He'll go back up on this to buy some time. Well done. Don't break your focus. Don't break the focus. We said control the court. Control the court does not mean going for winners. It's placement and having your opponent always on the defense of moving. Eventually, you'll get the ball that you want to attack the net or go for a big killer forehand. He's hitting everything cross court. You're down the lines. Do not overhit. The good thing about this drill is you have to move. Now he just said a bad word in Spanish, okay? I won't tell you what the word is. But now notice his attitude is a lot different than the attitude before, okay? Impatient with himself, doesn't compliment himself. This drill here tells you a lot about Damian's personality. Right here on television, on the microphone, mierda, which means okay? And other comments, which means I'm doing terrible. No diga nada. Yoganda, solamente Yoganda. Tu comprende me? See? Let's play ball. Okay, let's just play ball, my boy. Come on, Damian, you can do it. Atta boy. Come on, Damian. Good boy. A little less power, a little less power. Perfect. Come on, up. Good boy. Just dig in, Damian. Good boy. Throw that ball up, Dame. Now he's cooking. See, he's starting to feel good about himself. That's all it takes. Be a little kinder to yourself. Perfect. I like it. Well done. Come on, Damian, a few more. And turn. All right, switch it over. Much better. Always remember that. When you get in, hit a few difficult shots, settle down, get yourself, because that's when you lose 2 or 3 points and you lose the game. You understand? Yeah. Okay, come on. Well done. Look what I just did there. I mean, I rephrased what he said. I talked about it in front of everybody. I mean, I didn't put him down. I just said, look, you don't do these things. Get yourself out of that hole. Be a little bit more positive. And each coach must learn how to get that student into a positive frame of mind. It takes a little work. That's why you have to know all your students. Some of you yell out, some of you talk to very quietly, but you can't let it go unnoticed. You have to talk about it. Big, strong 16-year-old can do it all, but lacks the discipline. In this last big tournament we had a few weeks ago, I had a little talk with him before he played, went all the way to the finals. With some discipline, by drills like this boy has the size, the strength to be not just a player, but perhaps has the ability to be a professional player. And all he has to do is get into drills like this that discipline him. Make him do things one way and only one way. Certainly, you as students have options on the tennis court, but you got to also get that mind to be disciplined to do it the way that's best for him. Look how nicely he moves, how still his upper body is. That's why coaches in drills like this, you want to see where the technique breaks down in the body as well as the ground stroke. Right here, can't say very much about this. This is fantastic. Be sure you close in closer to the baseline whenever you can. And coaches, watch this. Don't let the students drift way far back. They hit a good shot, get back in close to that baseline if you possibly can. Well done. Coaches and players are viewing this video. 3 boys, all have excellent ability. but look at their personalities. One from Spain, one from outside of Russia, one from Korea. The mentality of the Korean stood way above the mentality of the others. He's more disciplined. Not that he's a better player, but he's more disciplined. That's why drills like this are good for certain people and limited for other people. So you have to know when to back off and when to do more of it. There's no excuse for not training. Hey, I don't have a partner, gee whiz, what am I going to do? I'll tell you what you can do. One of the best practice partners in the world, the backboard. You can do all sorts of things. You can work on half volleys, you can work on volleys, you can work on serves, you can work on the cardiovascular by hitting cross courts, movement, and as you start getting confidence, you can work coming inside the baseline by moving closer to the wall. And remember now, students and coaches, the backboard doesn't have a mind. The student has the mind. So you have to get out there and challenge yourself when you play against the backboard. And that's what makes it a darn good exercise for you. You've just seen Nick Bollettieri in action. Yes, in action with his students. And I love it. And I must start out by saying, it's not just doing a drill. It's not just watching a match. It's not just talking to the student. It's how you talk to them. If you talk to them in a way that gets them to another level and gets them to accept the negatives and positives about their tennis, you can help them. And you'll see in our next series of videos the same philosophy, the backhand, the overhead, the serve, return to serve, how to play key points, the first and last ball, movement. They'll have the same approach. It's not just the workout, it's what we are trying to do for you in producing these videos. Along with that, Mark Verstegen of the IP High Physical Fitness Department and Jeff Troshi in the mental department will be doing their share, and I'll be working with them in coming out with a new series that'll also help you in those aspects. And they are equally important. It's just not the hitting of the ball, it's the whole picture. I want to thank my staff. I want to thank the students that worked so hard in helping with this video. And I want to thank my personal friends that have contributed time and effort and their resources for Nick Bollettieri to develop a new manual that will be coming out with Mike DePalma and I, plus a new video series and all sorts of things in 1999. Am I through? Not yet. You'll be seeing me for several more years. Thank you, everybody.